So we have to do review of the newspapers.
Yeah, but not
my shuffle
until
friends.
I say good morning to a very special friend of mine, a good friend, Frank Amebo. Frank is right now somewhere in the hotel in Tamale. So Frank Amebo, good morning. Good morning Frank, to every person in the hotel across the country watching the AM show right about now.
Which hotel is that?
I don't know.
Lodge or which one?
I don't know.
Yeah, but actually, we should say good morning to those who choose us when they're away from home.
Yes,
you know?
Absolutely.
It means that you're carrying your love for us along with you wherever you go, even if you're going to work. Which reminds me, good morning to Solomon Nyantechi, who watches us from London.
Is it Kusi Nyantechi's brother?
No, please. Don't try to apply the coefficient of 7 to Solomon. He watches us diligently every morning, and he's doing the same right now. Thank you so much.
All right, now let's run through the headlines as we have in the newspapers. We'll begin with the Finder newspaper, front page of the Finder. Here we go. 3 new ministers appointed. Who said 110 was a bit too much? Okay, that's not part of the headline though. 326 million Ghana cedis UMB cybercrime, 12 suspects remanded. I hope you're remember the story. A policeman in Midland assault case granted 60,000 Ghana cedis bail. Ignore tax amnesty at your own peril. GRA boss is warning, and I will not legalize same-sex marriage. That's the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I think he was speaking at the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Synod yesterday. All right, that's it for the Finder newspaper in terms of what's on the front page.
Indeed. The Ghanaian Times has these. No casualties as President makes 15 changes in maiden cabinet reshuffle. Or diet reshuffle, as they call it, because it's not full fat, you know. He says it's a light one, just to move a few pieces on his chessboard.
Are we expecting more?
Or is it draft board? I don't know. He's the president. He has the prerogative. Krobos demonstrate against siting of Environment University campus at Bunso. Men's Gold dismisses PMMC's claims of illegal gold trading. And we won't legalize homosexuality, says the president. I need to correct this because it's not homosexuality he spoke about. It's same-sex marriage he spoke about. He says he won't legalize that. By the way, it's not illegal to be a homosexual in Ghana. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Where are you coming from?
It's illegal to have unnatural carnal knowledge, but not to. You can be.
What's the difference, please?
You can be a homosexual virgin, and you haven't broken any laws. Yes, it's a natural carnal knowledge which is illegal. Okay, so that's the Ghanaian Times. Should I run through all of mine, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think you can. Just go ahead.
Why not? Daily Graphic. Shake up in government. Abdul-Hamid for inner city. Oppong-Nkrumah promoted. Lovely pictures of several of the chess pieces that the president has moved on the board. Or are they draft pieces? It all depends on what game is being played. Right, it's no to same-sex marriage. President declares at Global Evangelical Synod. Arrest and prosecute officials behind banking scandal. Christian Council speaking up as they often do on national issues. No law stops us from commodity trading, and that's according to Men's Gold. And on the back page, $3 million food processing factory to be established at Afienya. It's an interesting story, more detail of that in the Business and Financial Times, which has this as its banner headline: public debt to reach 72.4% of GDP, according to Moody's. And guess what is the cause of this jump? Cost of banking sector reforms. Yeah, Bank of Ghana must apply the law to restore lost confidence. That's according to lawyer Adagwini. I hope I'm saying Adagwini. Adagwini. I've never met him.
Oh, like you should. He's a very nice gentleman.
Yeah, he taught me in UPS.
Yeah. Lovely. Good morning.
Me too.
Adagwini.
At Centra.
Oh, I see. So
company law.
Have been taught law.
Just normal company.
I'll be testing.
It's like the backyard law.
I'll be testing you periodically.
Company law.
Yeah, a couple more headlines. Other telcos to enjoy 4G soon. That's great. And one district, one factory. Construction of $3 million tomato factory begins. That's the headline I was telling you about. 3 million.
All right, so
Roland?
let's go through two others I have, the Daily Dispatch and the Herald. I start with the Herald. It says, President shields family and friends in ministerial reshuffle. Otiko Jaba thrown to Italy.
She's not part of family and friends.
So as that sinks in, we have Men's Gold's lawyer bears teeth at PMMC as non-performing Opare Hammond finds voice. Then we have SIC Insurance records growth again. Up there, we have dark clouds hung over $500 million ECG concession. And so those are the stories we have front page of the Herald newspaper. But let's go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Has on the front page, Akufo-Addo's ministerial musical chairs list out. Page 11 is where you have to see the story. And then we have Akufo-Addo's views on homosexuality in Ghana is on the back page as well. But a Capital Bank board member was given 27 million Ghana cedis and $50,000 from BOG bailouts. It has a picture there of then board chair of the defunct Capital
and share
Bank. And that's Dr. Mensa Utabel is there. So he was the chair. So you go to the back page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. It's a well-sourced Joy FM, Joy Online infographics about the Capital Bank, how it acquired its license, on all the stories and how they transpired.
Indeed.
You also have another one for the other stations around, and we have other stories as well. Okay.
Let's do the Daily Guide and the Daily Statesman. The Daily Guide first. Front page of the Daily Guide. Stop begging Martin Amidu. Nana tells corrupt officials. It almost sounds like Nana tells a certain Mahama. Also, 3 Midland staff charged over brutal cop. Men's Gold denies PMMC claims. And Nana drops Otiko in cabinet reshuffle. And the pictures, they're well arranged. Cynthia Morrison is coming in. Otiko is going out. Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, okay, well, Mustafa Hamid is not there exactly, but there's Paulina who is coming in. And then Pius and Perry have exchanged places practically. So Perry goes to sports, Pius goes to information. I'm sure he'll be happy there.
That's an interesting one, you know.
The Daily Statesman, Men's Gold fights PMMC over gold business. Reshuffle at last, Otiko flies out, Mustafa moves to Zongo, Cecilia Dapa, Kofi Ada swap places. And depopulate prisons to facilitate rehabilitation. President Akufo-Addo making that call there. And that will be it for the headlines. Let's talk a bit about the reshuffle. One of the papers said Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah had been promoted. So my question is, Mustafa Hamid, has he been demoted?
Has he been made a deputy minister?
He's still a deputy that is. Are you saying that some ministries are more important?
I didn't say wise. I only asked because they said Kojo had been promoted.
You know, typical Ghanaian.
Yeah, but that
reply your question with a question.
I just asked. And then another one. You know, he's been spokesperson for the presidents.
For some, when they were in
is he still
now?
Spokesperson with the change?
No.
That's an interesting question, though, because I don't think that was clarified. Because being spokesperson for the president was something he did in addition to being Minister for Information.
Exactly.
But it's still
unless this government has institutionalized the role of presidential spokesperson as part of the role of Information Ministry, which I am not aware of.
Echo, I beg, let's clarify this.
So it would be important for us to get
an
explanation. Why not call Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a member of our family. Let's find out.
Family and friends.
Family and friends, that's right, yes. Let's find out what.
We'll give you 1 million.
We'll
use it for promotion.
Promotion of
We'll consolidate you.
Yeah, send us your messages, your WhatsApp messages and your regular text messages. We will read them. We'll go on myjoyonline.com as well, and hopefully we can end with the BBC. Here's the comments. Good morning to you guys. I'm watching live from Equatorial Guinea. Mr. Donko.
Hey, Mr. Donko, good morning to you. I know him. got in touch with him.
Okay, this one says, good morning. I think the president did not listen to Ghanaians about the number of his appointees and the public pairs. When Ghanaians were respecting or expecting a reduction in the number of ministers, now 111 ministers is too bad. Zion and Wa, 111 is classic.
Yes. We'll see what opposition does with that number. In their communications, no doubt they'll make a big deal of it.
This one says, I can't figure out what is new in this elephant government to the previous governments. Nanado is the senior. Charlie, I can't say, man, but he didn't use that good. He used something else. So use what he used, and then I can read it. Okay, well, more messages, but let's get into more details.
All right. So we're supposed to discuss something.
Yeah.
Is the shake-up first?
The shake-up.
We'll
why
do
not?
GDP, I'm sure.
Of course.
And then we'll do men's gold.
But yeah, look at the
homosexuality.
Look at the wonderful names and faces on the front page of the daily graphic. Mustafa Hamid, you asked that all-important question about whether he's been demoted. He certainly doesn't think so. And if you follow the narrative of his time at the Ministry of Information, you will be inclined to believe him. I don't know if you remember, he got into a bit of trouble at the beginning of his appointment when in an interview on another radio station, he was asked about his appointment, and he actually said that he wished the president had given him another role. And it got him into a bit of trouble. He had to come back and explain that what he meant was that he had played this role of, the spokesperson of the president and disseminating information on behalf of the president for many years. And he had hoped that once they'd come into power, the president would have given him something new, so he would have a challenge.
Is that a cabinet position, though?
Yes,
the
it is.
Sanitation?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's not sanitation, it's inner city
and
Zongo.
Zongo City.
Yeah.
Is it a cabinet?
Okay.
It is.
It's in
Cecilia
cabinet,
Dapa
yes.
and Kofi Ada, the swap.
Yeah.
Now,
Aviation.
I have some inside information. Kofi Ada didn't want to leave sanitation.
Oh.
Yes, when he was informed of the move to aviation, he wished that he would have been given a chance to finish some projects he had begun at the sanitation ministry. Clearly, he hasn't had an easy time there. He's faced a lot of criticism because sanitation remains a problem in Ghana. But it appears, in spite of that, even though some would consider a move from sanitation to aviation to be a move to a more cushy position, he was reluctant to make the move.
I think it's because, truthfully, I'm not sure we will miss him as sanitation minister.
So perhaps maybe
and I want to believe, I tried to think about the move, and I was thinking maybe the president wanted somebody who was going to make a very quick and significant change at the sanitation ministry. Let us begin to feel something.
Well, Cecilia Dapa is not somebody who I think
she's
is
very
more
strong.
Yeah, very strong.
She gets things done
and get things done.
Yeah.
In such a way. But he's not
So what
one
has she
who is
done
in your
at
face every
aviation?
day.
What are some of the achievements?
Please, I'm not government spokesperson.
Okay, because you are saying how strong.
I only see.
You said she gets things done.
I
So
only see
what
the
has she
the in terms of the
Aesthetics.
supervision and she
The
talks
Terminal
about
3.
Exactly, and
Terminal
she speaks
3, eh?
and she doesn't. You know, when there was this washroom issue at the airports, you know, she's not the kind of person who would keep quiet, but she would speak to the issue. I think that's what I meant.
Oh, right. Okay.
But
So
if
we're
you
going
want to know what she has achieved,
No, she's
please
achieved a lot. She
call
used to be a
the
member of Parliament.
information ministry.
He used to be a member of Parliament for Bantama.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll be hearing a lot of that. You said she
Yeah.
speaks to issues, right?
Yes.
So we'll be hearing a lot of
She
speaking.
absolutely speaks
A
to
lot of
issues. That's
speaking
what
in
I
the
know.
sanitation ministry.
Even with the Kumasi, the backlash, the remake of the airports.
Yes.
You know, was it the inauguration or the commissioning or something like that? I mean, she still spoke to that issue.
So we'll be having some speaking at the sanitation ministry.
If
I
you
hope
want
we also
if
have
you
some
want me to
action.
speak for you, though, you have to make me your
I hope we
spokesperson.
also have some action because that is sorely needed in that ministry. But there were some other moves. Cynthia Morrison becomes Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. I heard her speak to Evans Mensah last night when the news broke, and she said she's a submarine politician.
Oh, what's
Yes,
that?
she's been operating under the sea.
Submarines,
in Shase.
Smooth operator.
So she's been operating in Shase politically.
Okay, it's a very challenging.
And now she's been brought to the surface.
That ministry is not easy.
Gender, children, and social protection.
Exactly.
Now,
a lot of things merged in one.
Yes. She talked about her priorities when she comes in. She talked about adoption. She talked about bostels and the aged. I wish I had heard her talk about child sex abuse, which obviously this year and the year before was on the rise, with stories from the central region and so forth. And we, of course, started the Justice for Kids campaign here at Multimedia, and we are continuing it. We obviously want children who have been molested and abused to get justice. And actually, we want to protect them from getting abused.
She's still pretty new. I mean, at the time she was what, 1 hour into the job, maybe. So
well, she hadn't even taken up the position yet.
No, you know, once they appoint you,
but she already had
fetch,
priorities.
Right?
She already had priorities, which she stated, and this was not one of them. So I would like to recommend it to her as a priority.
But the thing too is that she will appear before Parliament's appointments committee, because she hasn't appeared before. Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah is also expected to appear because
of his promotion,
the elevation. So I think will be in order.
Okay, let's read some of your messages. This one says, "There's no single day I miss your show." Augustine from Techiman saying some nice things about us. Thank you. This one says, yesterday, I think I missed it. Yesterday was my sweetheart's birthday. I sent you a message, but you were not able to read.
We're reading
I
it
apologize.
Please read it.
Linda Vera Wuntumi from Swedro. It's a belated birthday. I apologize. It's my fault. It's from Jerry Abuaji, who's at Chibi, wishing you, though belated. I hope that you had a fantastic day yesterday. Linda Vera Wuntumi.
Do you say
from Swedro?
Happy belated birthday or belated happy birthday?
Belated happy birthday.
Yes.
This one says, I want to say hi.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Abdul-Hamid. Hello. Okay, thank you for watching the show. One more message and then we go to the newspaper. We need our salary. Yes, it was actually. We need our salary arrears, so demonstrations will go on by hook or crook. Adam in Keta. Adam says, we the teachers of 2013, 2014, 2015 are begging the government to pay us our salary arrears. Which other story are we looking at? We don't have a lot of time though.
No, okay. Shall we very quickly talk about which was the one you wanted to mention? Oh, well, first, of course, our public debt is going up.
Let's go.
Yeah, 72.4% of GDP. That's amazing. Well, that's because for these 7 banks that have collapsed, we're going to have to go and borrow 8 billion, which is 1/5 of our GDP. We've just added that to our debt stock. Okay, so honestly, I mean, actually, no, it's not 1/5 of our GDP. It's a smaller fraction. 5%?
I have no
idea. Yes, but it certainly brings up the figure.
Somebody put out a thought-provoking post yesterday that we found this amount of money to cushion banks, but we can't find, I think, less of that amount to back the free SHS.
You mean what we have?
Yeah, this is different. I'm talking about the banks.
The previous disbursement to
exactly.
them. Because now we're going for the 8 points.
We're now going for 5.7 billion, which if you add
don't we need that money elsewhere?
Like
to make life a lot easier.
Like, ambulances. Do you know how many ambulances you could buy?
Imagine.
With 8 billion.
We're having to double track because of lack of infrastructure, and this money could have done a lot.
No, but the truth is we can't allow the banking sector to collapse. Because
but if you don't have the capacity, don't do it.
Mama V, let's be clear.
I think we've been pampering them for a very long time.
No, the thing is we have to cushion the banks.
Let's be clear about one thing. We're not going for double track because we don't have money. We're going for double track because we don't have time. Somebody didn't think about it early enough.
Yeah, but that's because of the lack of infrastructure.
Yeah, if they had thought about it earlier, we would have had infrastructure by now. They would have prioritized it because they insist on doing free SHS. If they had thought about it earlier, they would have built the schools. Because government will always spend money on the things they want to do.
Well, to be fair, there was a change. I mean, with the time that they came in, free SHS, boom, let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no way you could have built all the facilities that you needed to
from last year
finish
to this year.
Yeah.
I think they could have.
Because there are quite a number of things that you line up to do.
But it's schools. You can build them in a year. Anyway. I was going to say public debt is all the way up because
it
of
is.
this.
And
Now
we should
you
be
say,
worried because Moody.
you say that we can't allow the banking sector to collapse.
Not at all.
If
I
you
think that
close
the
down-
bailout is in order.
If you close down 7 out of 35 banks, the banking sector will not collapse.
No.
So I don't really think, that's my personal view. Again,
And that's what we've done.
Somebody said strongly to
No,
me yesterday
No, but that's what we've done.
No,
Before
we-
you come
we
in.
there will be
bailed
20 standing in the end.
we have bailed out.
No. The thing is that those banks may have collapsed, but within their books are monies of depositors and people who have invested money in there.
We
Now,
agree.
that money is not there. And the government cannot see people's businesses, their livelihoods, etc. collapse.
But government is
Well,
saying they are
so
We
going
have to do
government is
myjoyonline.com,
saying they are going to
unfortunately.
retrieve that money, aren't they?
Let's quickly
So
go
they
to
should
our
have
page,
retrieved it and given it
myjoyonline.com.
to the
And one is through.
customers.
Policeman in Midland assault case granted. Bail some 60,000 Ghana cedis. Also on the page, real quick. Convert Etiwa Forest into park for Nanase Oforiata the First, Ghanaians in Amsterdam petition.
The whole forest?
Ministerial reshuffle Ekufuado banks on administrative experience to protect polls. I'm eager to work with Oyelita Otiko, gender minister designates.
You have to travel very far to do that.
Some gun-wielding Chinese arrested in Operation Vanguard swoop on 22 illegal miners. You can check out their photos on myjoyonline.com. Ekufuado full speech on prosperity, gospel, and taxes is generating some kind of conversations. Begging Amidu, fruitless Ekufuado vows to complete 2,000 capacity prison.
For Amidu to fail.
Bank of Ghana treated failed CEO with kid gloves as Essien pussyfooted with Capital Bank. It's an interesting piece. Please read it. It's on myjoyonline.com.
Say that word again.
I won't. Churches already pay taxes. Opening Frimpong demands GRA clarity on plans to tax churches. There was a little conversation.
Who's the current general secretary of the Christian Council? Looks like Pudi is still managing the
No,
airways
yesterday
for
he
them.
was in the news as well. Mickey will help with the name.
You can't even recall.
So-
Fayose? Yes. I
Yeah.
can't remember
Fayose.
his first name, but
Please
his
be
second name I
speaking,
do.
alright.
So Fayose, yes, yesterday
check-
he spoke. But the thing is that opening Frimpong, whatever it is that you do,
a
he's
friend of the media.
he
So
speaks on issues.
Churches
so-
don't pay taxes on donations, so collection, tithe, those things they don't pay taxes on. But workers of churches pay income tax. I suppose that's what he's talking about.
But even the people who are paying the tithe had also paid their taxes before
already.
bringing them. But some people said, if you take
But that's
taxes,
not how
then
it
we will
works.
not pay them.
I paid my income tax before I go and pay value-added tax on everything I buy. We are not supposed to only pay tax once, are we?
We have to go. This message from Bernard
Right,
Mahama in
we're supposed to
Techiman
pay
says,
tax
I
only
thank
once.
God
You
for
haven't
bringing
answered that
in. Message from Bernard Mahama in Techiman. By the angel that held my hand and brought me to Ghana, I have nothing to tell you until we meet that day in heaven. Oh, okay. So,
Is there a poem?
Someone has passed
Bernard
away.
Mahama, yeah, I think somebody has passed, but you were not clear in the message. But,
But
we're sorry for your loss.
Yeah, thank you
Stay
for the
with us.
message,
We have
Madison.
to run and make way for sports. We've got the home series. If you've been planning to buy a house or to buy a property, to buy a piece of land, well, there's a way that you can do it. Today, we're exploring the finances. How do you get money to finance that project?
And sugar
It's,
daddies is not one of the options.
It's really, really
Are you a sugar daddy
interesting.
to
So
somebody?
stay with us.
Me.
You can actually get a mortgage to buy a land. There are different
I'd like to be a sugar daddy to myself.
strategies that my guests
think you're almost
shared
like an
with us.
expert
So you
based
have
on
to.
your experiences.
Yeah, I like that. I am building myself. So after sports, we'll bring you the home series. Stay with us.